I'm here today because on Friday, ICE kidnapped my brother, Jose Paulino, along with his coworkers.
Protests against ICE raids continue for a fourth day. We'll have the latest from LA and Portland.
We are still in weather impact alert mode with temperatures above average. It is hot outside, and I'll have that heat forecast coming up.
This was a fist fight in the street for nickels this time.
A major money win for Eastern Washington in a scrappy budget year. The extra infusion of funding coming for Spokane's North-South Freeway. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson says he is committed to finishing what he started before he took office. He made a stop in Spokane today to announce more money coming from the North Spokane Corridor project. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy breaks down the big budget win.
Governor Ferguson says seeing the North Spokane corridor through to the end is a top priority. That's why he and lawmakers are making sure it gets every dollar necessary to drive the project home.
Bringing this to fruition.
Standing room only on Ralph and Jackson as Spokane greeted good news from the governor.
You know this, right? But this is really a game changer for this region.
Spokane's long-awaited landmark freeway, the North Spokane Corridor, is getting a push to the finish line in the state's transportation budget.
We adopted a budget that invests another $250 million into this project. And what that means is the final 3 phases for completion of this critical project are now funded.
$250 million, that's actually an additional investment to cover inflationary costs for materials like steel and concrete. It will be spread out through the last 5 years of the NSC project, according to WashDOT East's Ryan Overton. Spokane area senators say once done, the $1.9 billion project will pay for itself in its benefits for commuters.
I'm mostly excited that it will mean connectivity for thousands of people to education, access to jobs, healthcare, and a safer and quicker and less congested north-south route.
The trucks that are on our roads right now and our city streets that are causing destruction of our city streets, they'll be put on a concrete freeway that's designed to carry the weight.
The NSC has become bipartisan priority, even with a tight budget that makes this moment, says Senator Jeff Holy, near impossible.
This was a fist fight in the street for nickels this time.
So the fact that this project made it to the top of that very short list with the completed funding to get all the funding done for the final 3 stages, I think is the evidence.
WashDOT says the project is on track to be completely done and open by 2030. Believe it or not, the NSC is more than 70% complete. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
All right, our other top story today, the sweltering weather. In fact, today marks the hottest day so far this year, prompting a KREM 2 weather impact alert. That is why we sent KREM 2's Regan Gallo outside to get a check of just how warm it is right now. Regan?
Yeah, Mark, I am enjoying it. Our patio is awesome right now. It is hot, but it's even hotter in some places in Washington. So we're going to talk about that. But 94 degrees, we actually went up 1 degree in the last hour that we have been doing our newscast because it is extremely hot today, which is why we have that weather impact alert in place, because this is record-breaking temperatures for what we're seeing for this time of year, anywhere from 95 to 105 degrees, especially in central Washington, Moses Lake, Othello, Tri-Cities. They are seeing hot temperatures, as well as the Lewiston, Idaho. So let's look at that right now. So we see 103 in Lewiston, again 94 in Spokane, and in central Washington they're getting that high heat too. And as we talk about that high heat, there are plenty of heat advisories issued out by the National Weather Service. There's also an extreme heat warning in Wenatchee, Quincy, Ephrata, and Chelan, those areas, and a red flag warning, which means we have elevated fire risk in Chelan and Douglas County. That means there's heat and there's also about 20-mile-per-hour winds with 30-mile-per-hour gusts. It's all the perfect storm for potential fire risks. So we have a lot of warnings. I'm going to break it down soon, but a lot of heat ahead.
Sounds good, Regan. We'll check back in with you later in the show. Now to some breaking news right now. One person is dead, another severely injured after a crash outside of Suncrest on State Route 291. That is closed right now in both directions. A commercial vehicle and a 2-passenger vehicle were involved in the crash, according to authorities. WashDOT is telling drivers right now to expect delays. We are working to learn more about what caused the crash. When we do, we'll be sure to update you. The search for Travis Decker, the Wenatchee man accused of killing his 3 daughters, continues today. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia's bodies were recovered near Leavenworth last Thursday. Their mother had reported them missing the Friday before after the girls did not return home from a scheduled visit with their dad. Officers ruled the cause of death as asphyxiation. The manhunt for Decker has intensified all across the Pacific Crest Trail. Multiple agencies around Washington are helping to assist with the manhunt, including the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. On Friday night, Governor Bob Ferguson activated the National Guard to assist in the search as well. That search has forced thousands of acres of land to be closed to the public, impacting outdoor activities.
We were, kind of at a loss for where to point people because of how much was closed. There weren't really very many options left over.
If you know Decker's whereabouts, you are still advised to call 911. There is a $20,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. And today we are learning that a camper died in Clearwater County over the weekend. The sheriff's office says an 18-year-old from Lewiston died on Saturday after they were pinned under a large boulder. Deputies responded to the area near Bruce Eddy north of Orofino, but found the teen had already died. At this time, it is not clear how the boulder fell on the teen. Right now, Spokane police investigating 2 fires that started near the Spokane Memorial Gardens on Cheney-Spokane Road early this morning. Investigators are determining if these fires were set intentionally. KREM 2's chief journalist Amanda Rowley shares a closer look at the damage and what we know so far.
Both fires are out now, but you can see just the extent of damage the fires caused here just on the edge of the property here at the Spokane Memorial Gardens. Spokane Fire Department says the size of this fire, the first one, is a little less than half a football field. The fire department says it responded to a second fire started about a mile away. Crews quickly knocked out both the fires. In fact, I learned the fires were put out even before groundskeepers arrived at 5 a.m. I confirmed with the Spokane Memorial Gardens the fire did not damage any of the grave sites. The fire stayed mostly in this thick wooded area on the edge of the property. At this time, we don't know what caused these fires, but we do know Spokane police are investigating the possibility of these fires being set intentionally. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
We are just getting started on KREM 2 News at 5 tonight.
It's historic for women's sports.
A bittersweet ending to Spokane Zephyr's inaugural season coming up. We take a look back at their season.
I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. It's the last thing our city needs.
But first, as protesters take to the streets for the 4th day in LA, we have the latest developments surrounding ice raids.